Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the Charlotte weekend. So this is obviously the Coca-Cola 600 weekend, which is the third and final race that I'm going to be reviewing for this whole motorsport day. Basically, this massive motorsport day which had Monaco, Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. You can also put on the 24 hours of Nürburgring as well, part of that, but obviously I'm not reviewing that, and that's kind of like a sub race. I don't really want to offend anyone, I'm sorry, but the three main ones are Indy 500, Monaco Grand Prix, and the Coca-Cola 600. Those are the three main ones, basically what I'm saying. So before we get into that, obviously like and subscribe. And let's get on with next week's schedule, which is Gateway and Portland. So this is where we get to see the Truck Series and the Cup Series, and Gateway and Xfinity Series over and at Oregon, Portland. I think the Xfinity Series will be returning to Portland. So obviously the series had the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, the Truck Series, and the ARCA Menard Series as well. So this is a bit of an interesting one. It's because on Friday, June 3rd is normally the Truck Series, which will start practice, but this time it is the Xfinity Series at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time at practice for Portland. The thing is that there is no TV, so practice for the Xfinity Series will not be aired on TV. Cup Series will start at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time and practice for Gateway. That'll be on FS1, MRN, Sirius XM. And then 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time will be practice for Gateway in Gateway for the Truck Series on FS1, and the Truck Series qualifying will also start at 6:35 p.m. also on FS1. Then at 8:05 p.m. will be qualifying at Portland for the Xfinity Series on FS1. So it looks like it might be a night race, because obviously 8:05 is incredibly late in the day, but I might be wrong with that. Obviously, I don't know America. So that's Sunday. Saturday, we have at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we'll be qualifying for Gateway for the Cup Series on FS1, MRN, and Sirius XM. And then the Truck Series race at Gateway, starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the running of the Toyota 200 at Gateway. That'll be on FS1, MRN, and Sirius XM. Then the ARCA Menard Series ARCA Menard Series West, sorry, not the regular ARCA Menard Series, but the West ARCA Menard Series. That on 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be practice and qualifying for Portland. There'll be no TV there. And at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Xfinity Series will be the Xfinity Series race at Portland. That'll be for the running of the Pacific Office Automation 147 at Portland. That'll be on FS1, MRN, and Sirius XM. Then the ARCA Menard Series West at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be for the running of the Portland 100. That'll be on Flow Racing and MRN. I've never heard of what the hell Flow Racing is, but it's something, that's all I know. And on Sunday, June 5th, on the Cup Series, so the Cup Series race at Gateway, that'll start at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll be for the running of the Enjoy Illinois 300 at Gateway on FS1, MRN, and Sirius XM. So those are that is the schedule for next week. It's pretty haywire, but hopefully we can get through that. So first off, for the Truck Series at Charlotte, and that was won by Ross Chastain. This is his first win since a very long time ago, which I'll mention at the very end. In second place is Grant Enfinger, continuing his hot streak at top fives. And John Hunter Nemechek, Christian Eckes, Zane Smith, Tanner Gray, Kyle Busch, Chandler Smith, Stuart Friesen, and Ben Rose ran out the top 10. Then we got Ryan Preece, expect me to say his name a lot, Derek Kraus, Ty Majeski, Colby Howard, Chase Purdy, Carson Hocevar, Matt Benedetto, Matt Crafton, Chris Wright, and Tyler Ankrum ran out the top 20. No one failed to qualify, however 2 drivers went to the rear due to unfair adjustments. That will be Haley Deegan and Austin himself. For the stuff that happened, lap 30, Zane Smith wins stage 1. Lap 53, Tate Fogelman gets into the wall and spins out. Lap 58, Matt Mills gets into the wall and Ben Rhodes wins stage 2. Lap 61, Derek Kraus is caught speeding in pit road, which means he had to do a drive-through. Lap 131, after a very long green flag, a very long green flag run, Just a little until that anchor made contact, and just a little gets into the wall. So I think he was out of contention very early. Lap 136. I'm gonna show this on screen while I'm talking about it. Because Hocevar and Ryan Preece collide, Hocevar spins in turn 4. So it was just a restart, and I mean, Hocevar update, he crowded Preece up to the outside wall. I don't know why he would do that. It was kind of a stupid move by him, but obviously he was trying everything he can to keep the lead because he was leading, I think, since lap 60 something. I don't know. He was leading for a very, very long time, we'll say that. I don't know, I think it says how many laps he led, right? Yeah, so he led a total of 57 laps. That is the most laps someone has ever led in this race. So he led the most laps in this race, which is, it's obviously really unlucky. But at the very end, turn 4, I think Hocevar might have cut a tire down or something, and so he spun out, got a little bit loose underneath him, and Preece was riding along the outside wall, and after the race as well, I'll say this, Hocevar was crying next to his truck. Makes sense. I mean, he was very close of getting his first win of his career in the truck series, but he was incredibly close, and I still think he still has a chance of winning a truck series race. I mean, Chastain said it himself as well. A proven Cup Series winner said that Hocevar has the talent of being a winner in the truck series. And I fully agree with him. I think Hocevar has the talent. I mean, Nice Motorsports they're a really good team, so I generally do think, and I hope that he gets the win. I think when he gets the win, it's going to be like, maybe like Chase Elliott when he got his first win at Watkins Glen. Everyone's going to be so excited. I think Tyler Reddick is also very close of getting his first win as well. I cannot wait when both of them get their first win of the season. Oh, and if it's of their career as well. As for Ryan Preece, I mean, unlucky for him. I mean, I feel like it's definitely a racing incident. Ryan Preece was understandably furious at Hocevar. I don't really blame him. All these people on Twitter are just defending Hocevar for their lives, but you kind of have to, you know, put the blame on Hocevar. I mean, he crowded Preece up into the outside wall, and I mean, that's just not how racing is. I don't really agree with him with his that's like how young drivers are. I don't really agree with that. I mean, I think there's some great young drivers who don't really like who's in that aggressive, like Tanner Greco, maybe say Zane Smith as well, Christian Eckes. I mean, Ty Majeski, they're obviously young drivers, but they don't really race people aggressively. So, he said something about that. I can't remember. But I don't really agree. I don't wholeheartedly agree with Preece on that. But I do think Preece should be angry on that. I mean, if I was Preece, I would also be pissed off at that. But it is definitely a racing incident. On lap 143, Ross Chastain wins the North Carolina Educational Lottery 200, grabbing his first Truck Series win since 2019. That's been a long time. I think that's 3 years, right? Yeah, 3 years. 4. I don't know math. But it's been a very long time since he got his last Truck Series win. And the thing was also with Nice as well. So let's have a look at the other drivers who finished outside of the top 20. I didn't really talk about a lot of these drivers. Oh, I'm so bad. There we go. I talked about Haley Deegan, who went to she finished 27th, also myself in 25th. Just a little 32nd. Matt Mills 34th. Those are all the drivers who I really talked about during that. I mean, it's all as Alan Jack Wood 22nd, 23rd. That's all I can really say about the truck series. Not a lot really happened in that race. Not a lot of things also happened in the Xfinity series as well. Well, some things, but whatever. So, the Xfinity series, that was won by Josh Berry, who gets his second win of the season, or third win. Oh god. In second place is Ty Gibbs, and Sam Mayer, Noah Gragson, Brian Preece, Daniel Hemrick, Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed, Trevor Bayne, and Maya Snyder ran out the top 10. Then, Brendan Moffat, Jeb Burton, Ryan Ellis, Austin Hill, Billy Curry, Brennan Jones, Brennan Brown, JJ Lee, AJ Allmendinger, and Matt Mills ran out of the top 20. Also, shout out to Timmy Hill, who qualified fucking 9th place in a motorsport business management car. 9th place, which is impressive. That's an impressive qualifying effort from him, but he did sadly retire, and he actually finished last place. Why? Because his left front tire went down and he spun out, so he was basically out of the race. Lap 32, Brennan Brown spins. Lap 41, a multi-car wreck occurs on a front stretch, which includes car weatherman Jeffrey Earnhardt and Mike Snyder. Ryan Vargas avoids going to the grass. I just realized I forgot to say who went to the river and who went to the failed to qualify. Whatever. Okay. Failed to qualify, I quickly mentioned Mason Massey, David Starr, Ronnie Bassett Jr., and Kyle Sieg. To the rear, Ryan Vargas, Trevor Bayne, Brandon Jones, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Ty Gibbs, and Joe Graf Jr. went to the rear due to unrelated adjustments. Riley Herbst went to the rear due to backup car. Okay, let's get back on track. So I already talked about the multi-car wreck. I talked about Brian Brown spinning and Timmy Hill's left front tire going down. Lap 45, Josh Berry wins stage 1. Lap 75, Jeb Burden spins. And for some reason at the end of the race, I was angry at Noah Greggs for some reason. I don't know what the reason was, but apparently, I don't know, they made contact, and I don't know. I generally don't know what the reason was, but I mean, he was mad at him. That's all I know. And he wanted to kick the dog out of him or something. I don't know. It's something very southern, I'd say. But I don't know why the hell he was angry at him. If someone could tell me down in the comments, that'd be great. Lap 90, Justin Allgaier wins stage 2. Lap 96, there was a total of 4 drivers who got pit road penalties. Sheldon Creed, Josh Williams, Nick Sanchez, and Joe Graf Jr. Creed was penalized because he had an uncontrolled tire. Josh Williams was entering too fast down a pit road. Nick Sanchez took the jack with him. And Joe Graf Jr. was due to a safety violation. Don't know why. I don't know what that means. Probably a team member did something very unsafe. Lap 103, Riley Herbst's tire goes down and sends him to the wall. Lap 109, Austin Dillon's car tire goes, I think it was his left front or right front. And gets ruined by Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Joe Graf Jr., and Stephen Parsons all involved. Show a video on this. It was entering turn 3, and his tire just went, and Dillon's tire basically went down, so he just got, he couldn't turn, Sieg got caught up to him, hit his, back bumper, and Alfredo, Graf, and Parsons, they were just innocent bystanders. It was just a line. I think Parsons' car was on top of another car for a second. I think it might have been, what was it, Alfredo? I think Parsons' car was on top of Alfredo, but I might be wrong with that. On the hood, but I mean, I feel like Austin Dillon, he was doing all right, in that Big Machine Racing entry. He was like running like top 10, sometimes even top 15 as well. But I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, tires have been a massive issue, I think, during this race. I mean, I did talk about Herbst's tire was going down as well. Timmy Hill's tire went down. I think Brandon Brown might have also had a tire going down as well. So a lot of tire issues during this race. Lap 156, Trevor Bayne is too fast entering pit road, so he was penalized. And lap 200, Josh Berry wins the Alsco Uniforms 300, winning it by a massive 17.6 seconds. And as you can tell as well, the top six drivers were the only ones who went a lap down. Everyone below the top 6, so basically everyone below Daniel Hemrick, were a lap down or were out of the race, which is crazy to me. I mean, the top 6 were the only ones who didn't get a lap down. I mean, it was kind of boring. I mean, I guess you said I didn't watch it. I did watch the Truck Series, but I could tell that was incredibly boring. Let's now move on to the Cup Series. And, okay, the Cup Series was just a crazy race. It was possibly the craziest Coca-Cola 600 I have ever seen. I did watch a bit of it at school. And it was basically like the 2005 Coca-Cola 600, which was crazy. So let's now move on to, actually, first of all, let's have a look at the other drivers. I just realized. Let's have a look at the other drivers who finished outside of the top 20. So I talked about Riley Herbst. He finished 25th. Ryan Vargas 26th. Josh Williams 27th. Nick Sanchez 28th. Leonard Castle, I think he like ran out of power at some point. I think during a caution. Stephen Parsons 30th. Austin Dillon 31st. Sieg 32nd. Alfredo 33rd. Joe Graf Jr. 34th. Carl Weatherman, Jeffrey Earnhardt 36th and 37th. Timmy Hill down in last place 38th. We actually had a Logan Paul sponsor, I think Prime Hydration or something. That's like a Logan Paul related sponsor, and he was actually sponsoring Timmy Hill. And yeah, I wasn't lying. He qualified 9th place in NBM Motorsports equipment. Crazy. He's a mad lad. Hashtag get Timmy a better ride. I don't know. Let's now move on to the Cup Series, and that was won by Denny Hamlin. I'll get to why it was so crazy. I mean, you can definitely see by the amount of laps that they've done, but I'll get to it. Second place was his teammate Kyle Busch, then Kevin Harvick, Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Michael McDowell, Kyle Larson, and Alex Bowman ran out the top 10. Then Harrison Burton, Martin Truex Jr., Ty Dillon, Eric Jones, Ross Chastain, Todd Gilliland, Eric Almirola, Cody Ware, BJ McLeod, and Joe Logano ran out the top 20. God, okay. Some drivers went to the rear. A total of, if I can count, 6 drivers went to the rear. Corey LaJoie went to the rear due to a backup, and all the rest due to unapproved adjustments, that being Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, Cole Custer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Kaz Grala. No one failed to qualify. Lap 18, Ryan Preece spins out, and Chris Buescher spins to avoid him, but they get together. Lap 33, Bilicki crashes. Lap 46, Kyle Busch spins from 2nd place. Lap 100, Chase Elliott wins stage 1. And during the pit stops, Larson was penalized for equipment interference. I don't know what equipment was interfered though. Lap 126, Bob Wallace spins to pit road, so the race was still green. Lap 146, Austin Cindric spins after losing a run front tire. Lap 162 and 165, I basically put these together. Why? Because Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson spun out. I think the Larson spin caused a caution. The Blaney one did not. And speaking of Larson, he was penalized again for equipment interference. I don't know what equipment he was interfered by, but it was something, I know that. Lap 186, Chase Elliott hits the wall, bending the front toe link. Lap 192, the big one is being triggered by Ryan Blaney after checking up. I think in turn 2, if I remember correctly. Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Noah Gragson, Martin Truex Jr., Harrison Burton, Michael McDowell, Todd Gilliland, Kurt Busch, William Byron, Brad Keselowski, and Bob Wallace all involved. Lap 200, Daniel Suarez wins stage 2. Lap 254, Noah Gragson spins. Lap 300, Ross Chastain wins stage 3. Lap 340, Tyler Reddick loses a left-right tire, while was a left rear tire, sorry, while in 2nd place. Actually saw this. I was really sad when that happened. I saw this as well, but I think I was on board with, who was I on board with? It was Chastain, I think it was. Yeah, I was on board with Ross Chastain. I saw this behind him. Lap 346, I showed a video on this. Chase Briscoe tags Daniel Suarez, I think on the restart. Whatever. And he spins, collects Chris Buescher, who flips on the infield. I think his tire, the tire just came off. I mean, it was still tethered in, but it came off from the body. Well, if that makes sense. And he just flipped. I think the wheel was dragged into the grass, and he just flipped. I think he flipped like 4.5 times before landing upside down. Luckily, he was okay. Red flag was triggered for 11 minutes, just so they can do a cleanup. But I saw I saw on Chastain's onboard, the ambulance was like rushing in. I was like, oh god, what happened? I kept refreshing the NASCAR website to see what happened, and I realized that's what happened. Chris Buescher flipped over. Oh, I wish I was on board with like someone in the midfield. If only I knew that was going to happen. I am so sad I did not know. I'm gutted. I'm so gutted. But that happened. Chris Buescher flipping over. This is his 2nd flip in his career in the Cup Series. He flipped in Talladega in 2016. Now he's flipped again in 2022 for RFK Racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway of all places. I'm like, I swear you can flip anywhere now with these next gen cars. Jesus Christ. Anyways, lap 398. Kyle Larson gets loose under Chase Briscoe. Both of them spins out. Oh god, this is when the craziness also happens. Lap 405. First overtime. Austin Dillon gets a run on low turn 4, but gets out of shape. Larson hooks him, and involved Chastain, Logano, Custer also involved, which causes Denny Hamlin to take the lead. I You see what I mean? That this race was crazy. In the second overtime, it was all clean handling leads, but Chastain was slow due to damage. He was actually in the front row. Damage, he was along the outside. He was slow as hell, which is why he finished in 15th place. And Kyle Busch takes second place, and then Denny Hamlin wins the Coca-Cola 600, also making this the longest Cup Series race by distance in history. That's how long it went for. It was an incredibly long race. I mean, the Coca-Cola 600 is already a long-ass race either way, but now you've added 13 more miles in, making it the Coca-Cola 613 miles. I don't know what else to say. I generally don't. Well, yeah. 619.5 miles. So, yeah, basically, fine. 620 miles. How about that? The 620 miles the Coca-Cola 600, 620 miles. Whatever. Okay. Let's now move on to the drivers who finished outside of the top 20 that I mentioned during that. So, Custer down in 21st. Gillen down in 22nd. Casgrell, I mentioned him in 23rd, Gregson 24th, Suarez in 25th, Chris Buescher, who had that nasty ride in 26th, Bubba Wallace in 28th, Blaney 29th, Keselowski 30th, Kurt Busch 31st, Byron 32nd, Chase Elliott 33rd, Cindric 34th, LaJoy 35th, Bilicki 36th, and Ryan Preece 37th. So that is it for Charlotte. Let's now move on to the standings, and first start off with the Truck Series. So John Hunter Nemechek is 7 points in front of Ben Rhodes. In third place, 25 points back is Zane Smith, not Ben Rhodes. Zane Smith in third place, then Chandler Smith, Stuart Friesen, Ty Majeski, Christian Eckes, Carson Hocevar, Grant Finger, and Matt Crafton ran out the top 10. Then Tanner Gray, Derek Kraus, Matt Benedetto, Taylor Ankrum, Ryan Preece, Parker Kligerman, Timmy Hill, Chase Purdy, Austin Wayne Self, and Colby Howard ran out the top 20. For the playoffs, so we know that Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Stuart Friesen, and Chandler Smith are in the playoffs. The other remaining 5 spots. Ty Majeski plus 89 above the cut line. I cannot speak today. Carson Hocevar plus 63. Christian Eckes plus 87. Grant Finger plus 42. And Matt Crafton plus 25. The closest one is currently Tanner Gray minus 25 below the cut line. For the Xfinity series, we got AJ Allmendinger, who's 33 points in front of Noah Gragson and 40 points in front of Ty Gibbs. In fourth place, we got Justin Allgaier, Josh Berry, Sam Mayer, Brennan Jones, Austin Hill, Riley Herbst, Daniel Hemrick ran out of the top 10. And then Landon Castle, Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Jeb Bird, and Sheldon Creed, Brent Moffitt, Brendan Brown, Maya Snyder, Jeremy Clements, and Alex LeBay ran out the top 20. He did not race in Charlotte. I do not know why. For the playoffs, for the top 12, so we know that Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, AJ Allmendinger, Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, and Austin Hill are all in the playoffs. For the remaining 5 spots, Sam Mayer plus 147, Daniel Hemrick plus 75, Riley Herbst plus 86, Landon Castle plus 58, and Ryan Sieg plus 48. The closest one is currently Anthony Alfredo minus 48 below the cut line. Finally, for the Cup Series, we got Chase Elliott, 34 points in front of Ross Chastain, who takes second place from Ryan Blaney, who takes second from Ryan Blaney, who dropped down to 4th place. Kyle Busch is in 3rd place. Ryan Blaney is 53 points behind Chase Elliott. In 5th place, Martin Truex Jr., Joe Logano, William Byron, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell ran out the top 10. Then Kevin Harvick, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Danny Hamlin, Daniel Suarez, also Cindric, and Kurt Busch ran out the top 20. For the playoffs, we know that Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kyle Busch, Danny Hamlin, Joe Logano, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, Kurt Busch, and Austin Cindric are in the playoffs. For the rest, behind Chastain, Elliott, Byron, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, and Logano is Ryan Blaney in 7th place, plus 94 above the cut line. Behind Bowman is Martin Truex Jr., plus 88 above the cut line. Behind Larson, Briscoe, Kurt Busch, and Cindric, we got Tyler Reddick plus 8 above the cut line, Christopher Bell plus 58 above the cut line, and Kevin Harvick plus 31 above the cut line. The closest one is Eric Almirola, minus 8 below the cut line. So that, that playoff picture is slowly shrinking. Very, very, very slowly. Slowly but surely. So that is about it for the Charlotte weekend. Just a reminder that the next weekend is a Gateway for the Cup and Truck Series, and Portland for the Xfinity Series. I'm going to try and watch the Xfinity Series, but that's probably not going to happen. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.